Good morning, everyone. Welcome on our webinar, sun.store and Astronergy. I would like to introduce Jerzy Rudnicki, who will present us some information about new generation of PV models.
Hello everyone. Hello Philip. Thank you very much for the introduction. I hope my screen can be seen well to all of you. For the next around 40-45 minutes, I shall introduce you through our latest product portfolio, but we will also speak a little bit about technology and advancements of our products, and also special use case scenarios, special dedicated modified modules for specific plants, a little bit about testing, and then I will follow up with what we plan for you in the nearest future, and also what is the horizon of a new products in the next years. So please stay tuned with us. We will start right now. Before I go or jump directly into the products that we have that we can offer you, I would like to say just a few words about who we are. Since not all of you can recognize our brand, Astronergy is a part of Chint Group. So we are on the market for around 20 years as Astronergy, and we have already shipped more than 130 gigawatt of PV modules around the globe. We do hire more than 12,000 employees, and last year we have shipped more than 40 gigawatt of PV modules. As I mentioned, we belong to a Chint Group, and Chint Group is on the market for more than 40 years. I would say for you guys here in Europe to basically understand who the group is, it is an equivalent of, I would say, a Schneider or ABB in China. So this is a very large product manufacturing group, and it is active in more than just one streams of products. We can say PV power plants, high voltage, medium voltage, transformers, cables, but not only, of course, energy related products, but also PV monitoring services, also EPC activities. So a lot of activities that are performed by Chint, and within the Chint Group in this green energy business, when it comes to PV cell manufacturing and PV module manufacturing, these activities are covered by the part of the company that is called Astronergy. We do have a global presence. We do manufacture predominantly in China. So we do have 11 manufacturing bases, of which 2 manufacturing bases are outside of China. I'm speaking here about one factory in Thailand, but there is also another factory recently opened, last year actually opened in Turkey for PV module manufacturing. We have our annual production capacity reaching 58 gigawatt in PV modules and 45 gigawatt in PV cells, and we belong to the top 4 companies when it comes to TOPCon global shipments. Okay, so the N-type TOPCon shipments globally, we are in the top 4. We are one of the leaders when it comes to PV module shipments around the globe. And now I will jump to the products that we offer today. We have been, as I said, delivering our products, and we have been active for more than 20 years on the market. Nonetheless, today we are 100% focused on N-type TOPCon PV modules, and all of the families and groups of the products that we are offering, these are N-type TOPCon products. And there are 4 major product families that we are offering currently on the market. And here you have them on the screen. The one which is already for some time on the market, N5, the newer version of the N-type TOPCon N7 with its smaller module type N7S, and then one family called N8, and that is for the large PV module sites, ground-mounted sites. These are more than 700-watt modules. We will be focusing today more on these 3 product families that are more related to smaller installations, smaller land-mounted installations, commercial and industrial installations, and residential types. So these 3 families. And starting from the Astro N5, so as I said, this is the family, the TOPCon family that we have introduced in the beginning as the first TOPCon family, and we now we can say it's a classic TOPCon product. So what distinguishes this family from the other families? It's the cell size. So here we are using square cell size, and this is TOPCon 4.0, so the latest industry standard TOPCon technology in these PV modules. And the module on the left side, which is manufactured with the power output up to 600 watt. This is the classic 72 cell product with typical, very well-known dimensions. So this product will provide compatibility with the majority of the projects that have been designed already some time ago, specifically, as I say, for the land-mounted PV, fixed mount PV plants. Very popular module, and using the same cells, we have created a slight variant of this product, which has, instead of 72 cells, 78 PV module cells, and the power is increased up to 650 watts. This product has a less uniform dimensions, so the height extends above 2.46 meters. So I would say this is a special case module for those of you who seek higher output powers, but would still require this universal, I would say already, width of the product, which is 1.13 meter. When it comes to other parameters, these are, as I say, industry standard. What is specific also about this product is that we have created also special use case versions of this product, which I will speak a little bit in the next slides. Then we have our Astro N7 product. So this is an upgraded family from Astro N5, and the key difference is different size of the TOPCon N-type TOPCon cell. So here we are using rectangular cell, 210R. This dimension of the cell, this type of rectangular cell, is becoming also very popular on the market. It's becoming industry standard right now. But apart from the different size of the cell, we have also implemented certain other improvements of this module, of which I will also tell you a little bit later. We will also, so here we are also using TOPCon 4.0 in the current moment, but we are also planning to upgrade the cell technology to the next version of TOPCon in a few months. And then we have a smaller version of the Astro N7, which we call Astro N7S. You can remember it by the letter S, as maybe smaller. And these are typical modules for the C&I segment and residential segment. We have generally two product types. The one is 48 cell and the second one is 54 cell. And these are also, as I say, rectangular 210R cells. Here we, apart from smaller size, also reduced power output adapted for these kind of smaller installations. We have also advantages in the smaller dimensions. So the smaller module is has the footprint below 2 square meters, of course. So the installation is better of this module for example, reduced size rooftops. Also, the weight is reduced here. But there is also another advantage, namely the mechanical load resistance. So this module, the smaller one, the 48 cell module, has increased mechanical load resistance, typically a snow resistance up to 6,000 pascals. Apart from that, we also offer these modules in full black version for the increased aesthetics. And so these were our, this is how we call our family of products, Astro N5, N7, and 7S, and 8, and so on. But apart from that, each module, of course, has its specific type. And sometimes our customers are, or even installers are asking, so what does the name stand for, or how do we decode the name, and how do we know what exactly product we have? Well, this is the cheat sheet for that. So the first letters, they mean Chint solar module. Then we have the number of the cells used in the module. And then we have letter N, or this is RN. So N belongs to TOPCon and N5 family. So these are square cells. And then RN means rectangular TOPCon. So these are these rectangular cells. This will be the N7, for example, module. Then we have information about the glass. So currently all our modules, they have double glass. So this is DG. Or there is also DGT, and this naming belongs to the smaller modules, the N7S, in case they are designed with this specific design that in between the cells there are no white stripes or black stripes, but just a transparent part, so basically glass between the in the spaces between the cells. Then it's DGT, T for transparent. Then we have F for frame, then we have BH, bifacial half cut, or previously in the older modules, monofacial half cut, and then we have the power class. Alternatively, after the DG, if the module is made in full black, so these smaller modules, then we have BLH for black, full black. So there are many product parameters that you can see in the data sheet, such as efficiency, bifaciality, degradation, and so on. But what holds these particular parameters are the advancements. So something that you not necessarily see in the data sheet, something that is behind or under the water, but anyway, the effect of that is this part that you see in the data sheets expressed in the power output or efficiency or warranty conditions. And these are these technology advancements that I would like to mention to you a little bit in the next few slides. So I mentioned all of our products are currently TOPCon cells. Nonetheless, there have been some advancements in the other parts of the PV modules. The first one is the bus barring. So this has been already introduced some time ago, meaning super multi-bus bar, 16 bus bars in N5, N7, and 18 bus bars in the N8. But what was introduced recently in the modules series N7S, so we have started to implement it in the N7S, these modules below 500 watt, was the zero bus bar technology. And now we will also implement this zero bus bar technology in the higher power modules such as N7 series. So zero bus bar is the technology of the bus bars, where instead of thick wires that are normally welded or soldered to the surface of the PV cell, we are using very thin ribbons. And these ribbons are so thin we cannot just unroll them from the roll and weld them to the PV cell, but they are deposited using a special foil. So first they are deposited on the foil, and this foil is then deposited on the PV cell, providing the distances are accurate between these ribbons. And there are 20 ribbons, very thin ribbons, and also then next in the lamination process of the module, there is the galvanic contact or ohmic contact provided between these ribbons and the cell. So here we achieve quite a few improvements and benefits of this technology. First of all, so this is low temperature process. It doesn't require soldering. So there is no impact of soldering, negative impact of soldering on the cell itself, okay, the flux. A low temperature process, meaning less energy used for depositing and implementation. There is also material saving. And there is also, of course, better ohmic contact, better or more distributed contact with the cell. So in the end, the charges are being collected better from the cell, and we are reducing the internal losses and resistance of the PV cell. So of course, we are improving the output parameters of the cell. Also lower thermal stress when it comes to the PV cell. So this is connected inherently with the reliability of the PV cell. The next improvement that we have implemented also is at the module assembly level. And here we are speaking about the light redirecting foil. This is the foil that is deposited between the cells. It is used for the utility scale modules, so the modules above 500 watt. And the idea is that the sun rays, the irradiation that falls between these cells is then redirected through this reflection of the foil back to the cell through the internal reflections also in the glass. And then we are gaining here around 2 watts, additional watts in such solution. And the last module level improvement is the glass. So we are using the glass that has additional layers of silicon oxide on the top. There are 2 specific layers. And thanks to this, we improve anti-reflective capabilities of the glass. We let more irradiation towards the cells. So the transmission of the irradiation is increased, and also we are protecting better the cells from the contact of water vapor towards the module. And of course, that creates also some benefits when it comes to the power outputs. When it comes to warranty and degradation, so we offer industry standard, current industry standard TOPCon conditions. The degradation not higher than 1% in the first year, not higher than 0.4% throughout the lifetime or warranty time of the module. And the power warranty here is 30 years. But what is also interesting that the workmanship, so the product, so-called product warranty, for the PV modules below 500, so this up to 500, let's say it like this, the modules in the residential C&I segment, we offer 25 years of product warranty, and this warranty is additionally covered. So this warranty is additionally secured by an external financial company, which is called Ariel RE. So in case the whole group, the Chint group, had financial problems, which is very unlike, I would say, because this is the energy group that has been on the market, as I say, since 40 years. But in case of such financial problems, there is a third-party institution. Ariel RE is connected with Lloyd, which takes over the responsibilities that are written in the warranty. When it comes to power roadmap, so these are the average manufacturing power, output powers of the modules produced. So on average, from each amount of modules produced, we have currently achieved this powered outputs, and of course they will increase quarter by quarter towards the end of the year and in the next years also as well. So you can expect also power improvements here. So now let's speak a little bit about special cases or specially dedicated modules and also special testing. So perhaps this will be more interesting part for you. And I would like to start from the testing. So, of course, all the modules that we offer on the market, they undergo the obligatory tests, the IEC 61, 200, 700. These are the obligatory norms. And this is typical case for all of the products that are being delivered to the market. Additionally, on top of that, from time to time, we also test voluntarily our modules. And here there is an example of such tests that have been done together with PV Magazine. So PV Magazine is a partner media. Of course, they utilize dedicated labs and dedicated certifier institutions for these tests, since they don't have their own capabilities. And here there is this group called CEA, and what kind of tests have been performed here. So basically, CEA is asking to provide them 2,000 serial numbers of the given specific module type, and then they select 8 serial numbers. Out of these 8 serial numbers, these modules are now then shipped to the CEA labs, and they perform first in-lab tests. Yeah. So these in-lab tests, these are visual inspection tests, EL test, then maximum power at STC, standard test conditions. So basically maximum power test, then low irradiance power test, PID test, and UVID test. And then, depending on the test procedures, sometimes these modules, they are then taken and installed in the test conditions, so basically in the field, and connected to the grid, and then energy output is being measured. And this year we have been testing our Astro N7, and we have achieved a very good result, this very good award by the PV Magazine. Specifically, when it comes to low irradiance tests, our modules have been outperforming by far the other competitor modules. In the last year, there were also the field tests, as I showed you, and there the modules N5, yeah, so this 580 watt modules have been tested also in the field in these test conditions, measuring the output, so energy yield. And the results, so PV Magazine has prepared and presented, shared with public, the results for measurements for the September 2024, and the whole report is available at pvmagazine.com webpage. If you look it also in the search engine, you will find the whole report. But here I just wanted to show you that when it comes to normalized PV module, our PV module energy yield for September, we have been awarded and categorized as the first group of PV modules, so the prevailing modules when it comes to PV output, PV energy yield output. Then, as I said, we also do have specific scenario modules, and here we are speaking about high hail scenarios, so areas where you can expect increased diameter of hail conditions. And our Astro N7 and N7S have been undergoing and have been tested together with TUV Rhineland. For this high hail scenario, we have modules with 2.5 double glass so glass on each side with increased width, and thanks to that we can pass the tests with 45 millimeter at zero angle, and then with PV trackers even bigger, more higher diameter hail up to 55 millimeters. That is for the N7 and N7S. It has high or hail diameter up to 40 millimeters with zero inclination, and we have obtained so-called HW4 certificate for this N7S module. So in case, for example, your customer requires HW4 certificate, we can provide such modules with this certificate. Then next case is the high snow scenario, and I mentioned that the smaller modules, the 450, 460 watt modules, they have increased mechanical load. So we state in our data sheets as standard 6,000 pascals, but we have even tested these modules under 10,000 Pascal snow load. Of course, this requires specific mounting type to withstand such high snow loads. But nonetheless, we have been testing these modules, and they have passed the test under such mechanical load. So this is for the areas with high snow falls. And yet another specific scenario, and just to introduce you, we are speaking here about low carbon value PV modules. So basically, we are concerning here the lifetime assessment, the carbon value lifetime assessment of the modules. And depending where we are in the world, there are different standards, of course. When speaking about Europe, particularly areas in France where we have the ECS and 30 Solis, and Scandinavia where we have so-called EPD, European Product Declaration. These are the areas where the customers are also sensitive for the carbon equivalent, carbon footprint of the PV modules. And just a few words about these two different assessments. The first is what I mentioned, the EPD. So an environmental product declaration, it's basically a document that provides data on the impact of the PV module throughout its life cycle. And we do have such EPD declarations already for Scandinavian countries. Each country, there is a different declaration. What are the main outlines of the EPD document. Of course, there are standard information inside about the module, description, specifications, compositions, but also there is this 16-step description of the manufacturing process, production stage, installation stage, use stage. Usually 25 years is assumed in these norms, in these documents, and then end of life stage. And there is this environmental impact per 1 watt peak of PV module calculated. So all of that is in that declaration, and we have been able to achieve values in equivalent kilograms of CO2 per kilowatt peak of PV modules, even below 400. So this is quite an achievement when it comes to especially to TOPCon technology. Then the second one I mentioned is the French certification, the French ECS. ECS stands for Simplified Carbon Assessment. And again, we are analyzing here the lifetime from cradle to gate. And in France, and this might be also useful for some of you, there is this so-called PPE2 certificate. So PPE2 is a standardization of the ECS calculation. It's an updated carbon assessment methodology. And there were generally 2 versions of this PPE, version 1 and 2. So of course, in the past, these regulations were less stringent, and we had version 1, which was quite flexible. It was basically self-assessment. But then since 2023, PPE2 was required. And since 23, already for public tenders in France, there have been certain values already, thresholds required. And here you have the datasheet on the right side. There are specific tender segments, rooftop, for example, ground mounted, and so on. Depending on the tender type, on the basket, we could say, we have these requirements. Either we have only the ECS, for example, required, so you need to have the certificate, or, for example, for some auctions, you need to have certificate plus the values, the equivalent values are expected lower than certain, for example, value. And here we are collaborating with the certification body, and we are constantly renewing our certificates. We have certificates valid for all of our currently offered products, with again with the values, as I say, near to 400 kilograms of CO2 equivalent, or even below, right, reaching even 385 here in the certificates. And another specific use case, which I wanted to also mention here, this is the anti-dust. So as you may expect, the soiling problem occurs on the PV plants, specifically if the inclination, module inclination is low. And it can be really a problem over time. It doesn't occur in the first day of the operation, but over a longer period of time. And it has been proven that the dust reaching between 2 to 8 grams per square meter can reduce the efficiency of the PV module between 5 to even 25%. And so if you have 100 megawatt PV power plant and you get a reduction by 8%, this is a significant energy that is otherwise lost. Of course, you can clean the PV modules regularly, and this is always well perceived by us, by the PV manufacturers. Nonetheless, of course, this is additional cost. So if there is a way of reducing such cost by reducing the quantity of the required cleaning throughout the lifetime, this has also equivalent in financial effect. And so what is the solution? Astronergy solution is a specific design of the frame. So we are speaking about here this a shorter frame that has been reduced, the overlap has been reduced, and the thickness is now less than 1 millimeter of this here of this part. And thanks to this, the water does not accumulate in this lower part of the module, and the dust can be more easily cleaned by the rainfall when it occurs. And of course, double glass structure, this is a no-brainer. I would say it has higher durability or higher better resistance to humidity, heat, water vapor, and so on and so on. So the performance is also higher here. And we have been testing that in our plants, these solutions. We have actually even designed two types of anti-dust PV modules, and have been testing the power output. We have exposed these modules to external dust conditions, and then have been comparing the average power generation between the regular frame module and the anti-dust module. And with the inclination of 5%, this average power generation, the power generation difference, thanks to the anti-dust design, was between 3 to up to even 6% higher for the anti-dust module. And this output was still higher even in case we have increased the inclination of the module. Of course, then the difference was lower, but nonetheless it was there, and we could measure it. And for this anti-dust solution, we have we have implemented in the Astro N5 family of the products, and then we can also offer this anti-dust solution within this family of the product. And I wanted also to speak a little bit about these installation scenarios. We have been speaking about higher mechanical load, for example, and this is also important to from time to time to check the installation manual. Why? Because there are many aspects that are described in the installation manuals, which are related also to module warranty. So we strongly advise our customers, the installers for sure, to look, to basically skim through the installation manuals and get knowledgeable how you can correctly install the PV modules. And there are certain requirements when it comes to installation methods. So first of all, there need to be at least 4 points of installation module fixation, okay? Can be more, but cannot be less. Then we have so-called typical installation cases. So either it's clamp, bolt, or it's a tracker solution. With bolt mounting, the matter is, I would say, easier. Why? We do have a requirement for the washers. There need to be 2 washers and a spring washer. Then there need to be M6 or M8 bolt, and then that's it. When it comes to clamp and the fixation with clamp, the clamp needs to be of a certain thickness and length if you want to stay within the mechanical loads that are specified in the installation manual. So there are 2 types of clamps that we allow as per standard. One is either 50 millimeter of length, so this dimension when looking on the top of the clamp, and the thickness of at least 4 millimeter. Yeah? And then the overlap needs to be at least 10 millimeter on the top of the module. So this part of the clamp that overlaps the modules from the top needs to be 10 millimeter or slightly higher. And the other type of the clamp that we allow by default is a 60, at least 60 millimeter length. So basically longer, but it can be thinner. So here we are speaking about 3 millimeter thickness. And then this overlap at least 8 millimeter. there is another dimension that we pay attention to, and that is how much this bottom overlap. So this part here on the right side, this is the upper part here, this section, this is the PV module, and here the lower section, this is the bracket, the mounting beam bracket, or however you call. And so the module needs to be positioned on the beam, and the overlap needs to be at least 25 millimeters, because otherwise, if it's very low, if it's, for example, 10 millimeter, the module could slip basically under the load. Yeah, it could slip through between the clamp and the module beam. For the trackers, we provide standard compatibility with the main manufacturers. In case there is a specific solution, specific project, we also look into the project case by case, and then we provide acceptance if the solution is sufficient. And also something that is sometimes might be counterintuitive is that here are also specific mounting structure types using the beams. And when you are using this type of mounting with the clamp, when the rails are vertical to the long side of the frame, then you can achieve the highest possible mechanical load. So for example, for the utility modules, this is 5,400 pascals snow load. Yeah. When you have this kind of installation type, so where the rails are overlapping the long side of the frame, you have reduced maximum mechanical load. So this mechanical load is then up to 3,600. And then we are speaking about this 25 millimeters, as I mentioned in the previous slide. So this distance on the rail, the overlap on the module of the how deep is the module supported by the rail. Then we are also permitting such module mounting solution basically support on the short side of the modules with the clamps, but this is only okay, only approved for the modules up to these 500 watt. So these are these 48 cell, 54 and 60 cell modules. And here the mechanical loads are usually significantly lower. So they are usually below 2000 pascals, but all of that is mentioned in detail in the manual installation manual. For the bolts, the thing looks similar to the clamp mounting as I mentioned already before here on the left side. And now we will proceed to the next part of this presentation, which is near and the far future, and what you can expect in the next months. So we will introduce probably at the end of the year, beginning of the next year, an upgraded version of our N7, of our signature N7 Astro TopCon module. What is the difference? We will be using still rectangular 210R wafer, but in this module, we are introducing an upgrade to the TopCon technology, so the TopCon 5.0. Another part which we will introduce is the so-called multi-cut design, and then there will be also an option for the steel frame. And thanks to these specifically two improvements in the technology and the cutting technology, we will be able to significantly increase the power output of this 60 cell module. So this is the module that usually is with the power output up to 640 watt. So 30 watts more will be possible with this pro version of the module. And so what is exactly the improvement in the TopCon version? Well, we are speaking here on the left side, you have the TopCon 4.0. Here on the right side, what we are improving here is the side we are adding so-called side passivation. So aluminum oxide side passivation. And this focuses on passivation effect improvement on the side of on this side where we are cutting the cells on the side of the cell, and thus improving the cell efficiency of up to 0.3%. And then there is also bottom passivation technique, which is called polyfinger. So polyfinger is another passivation technology that will improve the cell efficiency of up to 0.15%. But not only that, it will also improve the bifacial factor. So these modules will have slightly higher bifacial factor. And this is also important for the utility ground-mounted PV modules. I mentioned the multi-cut. So what's the deal with the multi-cut? Well, this is quite an important thing when we are speaking of the cell cutting. So we are cutting cell currently in the half. We are using half cuts, and if you look in this internal circuit of the PV module, the current is that flows through the internal circuits of the modules is the half of the full cell current. And then, of course, you have a summation on the cables, and then you have the full module current. When we cut these cells in quarter now and connect it in series in the PV modules, we have more internal circuits, but the current flowing through such circuit is a half of so it's basically 1/4 of this current of the full cell. So we are reducing the current that flows in the internal circuit of the module. On the output, we will have the same current, okay? So the output current of the PV module, the same. Internally, since there are more circuits, the individual circuit current is lower, and square of the current multiplied by resistance, this is the resistance loss that we have. So we are reducing significantly internal resistance losses in this PV module. So that is something that is very interesting, and we have already shown this module during Intersolar PV exhibition, and we will be introducing this module, as I said, either at the end of the year or beginning of the next year. The far future, just to mention, we are still concentrating today on the TOPCon. In the future, we are testing, of course, other cell technologies such as perovskite tandem cells. We are also experimenting and thinking about back contact. Nonetheless, still the perovskites, as you probably know, this is the song of the future, since the reliability of the long-term reliability of these PV modules is questionable. And so I think we still need to wait at least 1-2 years for these technologies to come. And last but not least, we do have several global cases that you can look through perhaps also later. So particularly, we are successful in the utility scale investments all around Europe. We have been delivering big sites, big power output projects in Poland, in Germany, in Spain, and we are still delivering such large projects. Also, we are very active in this distributed sector, thanks to the S family products. As I said, currently it's N7S, and these are numerous projects. Sometimes we are not even fully aware of the project destinations, since there is always a distribution part in the bottom. That's everything from my side. So I would like now to forward the microphone to Krzysztof. And if there are any questions, please, Krzysztof, you can make your voice. I will try to answer them as good as I can.
Of course. Thank you, Jerzy, so much. Let me maybe share my screen, if you could stop sharing yours. All right, thank you so much, and I will do it right away. All right, I hope everyone can see. So again, my name is Krzysztof, and I'm a VP of Sales at sun.store. For those of you who do not know us yet, we are the biggest solar equipment marketplace in Europe, connecting installers with distributors and manufacturers all across the continent. Almost 2 years ago, we created a platform that grants access to the most attractive offers on the market. And since then, we managed to gather over 28,000 registrations, 28,000 registered users coming from 30 European countries, and provide them with the best offers on the market. On modules such as Astronergy, inverters, energy storage, or other smaller categories at, I would say, lowest prices, high availability, coming from more or less 400 active sellers at the moment. And today, I would like to give you a brief overview of how to use sun.store, how to find the best offers, and how to finalize transactions on items that you find most interesting. So let's imagine, for the purpose of this whole exercise, that we are looking for some 570 to 590 watt modules. And let's also assume that these should be bifacial ones. So in order to do that, we can jump straight to the modules category, solar panels, where we can input those details, the criteria that I just mentioned. So 570 to 590 would be our power range. And I also mentioned, let's make it N-type and bifacial. That leaves us with a selection fulfilling those requirements. Usually these are sorted by price and also availability across Europe. And here you can see that there are quite a few even Astronergy modules fitting into that description, 575, 585, 570. How you can make your decision on what's attractive, what's not, what you would like to further negotiate is to compare the offers, the availability, the prices. You can see that if we have more than one offer per particular product, you are able to browse them. In this specific case, we have two different price offers on the same product coming, one from a Belgian warehouse, one from a Dutch one. Yeah, depending on the price, the availability, you can potentially make a decision on with whom to start negotiations. So maybe first thing that I would like to mention here already is that apart from having good prices, good availability, we also want to provide our buyers with credibility and security by implementing features and processes limiting any kind of potential risk. So first of all, here you do not see who the seller offering particular offers are. It's anonymized until the conclusion of the transaction. Once you decide, you agree to certain terms and you decide to confirm the deal, make a payment, this is when you get to know who the seller is. However, we from the very beginning, we make sure that all our sellers, all the merchants present on the platform are verified. We do not allow just anyone to put their offers on the platform. They need to undergo a thorough background check. We verified them with Dun & Bradstreet's rating, and they are also required to go through an onboarding process with our merchant success manager. So by doing that, we know that they were prepared to operate on our platform up to standards as expected. Also, as you can see here, we try to distinguish our partners with badges such as super seller, trusted seller. You can click to see what it stands for. Basically, these are the partners that that have some sales history on the platform, and it's also like a prerequisite for them to offer secure wire transfer, which is like a secure payment, basically an escrow account that grants even more security to the buyers. I'll talk about it in a second. We are also currently planning to roll out an additional piece of information for the buyers regarding the merchants' reviews on the platform according to their past sales. Also, average response time to even further inform the buyers on the merchants' reliability and responsiveness. So, as mentioned, the secure wire transfer is an option that is enabled for the merchants to offer. It's basically a method of deposit in which the buyer's payment is securely held on a Stripe platform and escrow account until a successful delivery of the product is being made and confirmed by the buyer. And this is when the funds get released to the seller's account. Alternatively, if the buyer forgets to provide such a confirmation, also a CMR is something that is enough for us to release the money. Of course, unless there is any kind of a claim or I don't know, any kind of complaint. This is when we will scrutinize and see into it. So as you can see, both the badges and the fact whether a seller offers secure wire transfer, they are easily identified and on the platform. So that's how hopefully comes in handy when selecting the top offers. So talking about top offers, our buyers can communicate with sellers via anonymous chats in order to ask all the questions about the product, the delivery costs, the warranty. And also what's important is that it all happens, it's all automatically translated to a chosen language that you choose upon registering on the platform. So for example, a Spanish buyer can simply type in Spanish, and so the Dutch seller will receive all the messages in Dutch. And just to very briefly show you how such negotiations might look like, let me maybe start a negotiation on the aforementioned Astronergy 575. There is one container available for 9 cents. And yeah, let's just imagine I would like to have it delivered to Andorra. So I'll just start a chat with the seller. Oh, apparently I have already some active negotiations with that aforementioned seller. So let me add it there, and we will be transferred to our ongoing negotiations here. So here I have a second window open with the merchant panel, so that I can answer these negotiations. Unless it's not gonna work, sorry about that. I'm using a test platform in order not to run actual negotiations, but I will hopefully be able to answer it in a second. Okay, so as a seller, I just received a notification that a new product has been added to the negotiations. Here I can write that, for example, okay, this is already some deal that's been going on. Here I can ask the seller to remove one of the products from the negotiations, and this is something that I will do. I will delete the pile and take batteries, and that leaves me with awaiting for delivery costs from the seller to the mentioned location. Everything is being tracked here on the chat, so the seller has provided me with the delivery costs. I can ask, we lower the price to, I don't know, 89. I can ask on the chat for the price negotiation. And as a seller, I can, here it's being translated to Polish, just because this is my selection, showing in original language that will be in English. And as a seller, I'm able to change that price, adjust it. Basically, I can do it right away. And I can send the updated offer to the buyer. And this is basically everything that we agreed to. So now, as a buyer, I can simply move on to confirming the deal and yeah, placing an order. So in order to do that, I can click on proceed to checkout, where I can find my like different payment options. In this particular case, the seller does not allow for secure wire transfer. He hasn't enabled it. The only option that's possible here is a wire transfer. So a bank transfer directly to their account. It's enabled just because we conducted the background check on the seller, and we know that they have high rating, and so we allow them to do that. So by clicking on confirm, I'm obligated to proceed with the transaction. Once that is done, oh, here, just because I'm using a new account in a way, a short tutorial is being shown to me, so I'll just skip it. Basically here, upon confirming the transaction, you can see that right now we are waiting for the payment order from the seller. So shortly, the seller should provide a pro forma invoice so that I can make the payment. Once that is done, I will upload the payment confirmation so that he knows that he can take off with the shipment of the goods according to the offer details. Like here, you can see that the seller estimated the time to send up to 10 days. And after 10 days, the shipped shall be goods and made delivered to the location that I provided. And of course, all the updates on logistics, on the current status should be provided here on the chat. It can also happen that upon the confirmation, once the pro forma invoice is shared and the details of both parties are being exchanged, it can happen that the seller will reach out to you directly in order to, expedite the communication. However, we would always advise to keep all the information, all the agreements here on the chat, as this also gives us the opportunity to intermediate, to make sure that you are being properly handled regarding the whole transaction. Okay, so apart also maybe for the fact that the chats are being automatically translated, it's also worth mentioning that our platform is right now available in 7 languages: English, German, Spanish, Polish, French, Italian, and Greek. It's basically just a translation of all the details on the platform. Nevertheless, the chats can be translated to far more languages of your choice, as mentioned, those that you decide to select upon the registration. Apart from you have the option to communicate with our sellers, you can always reach key account managers if you have such. We are there to support both the buyers and the sellers every step of the journey. And apart from attending to your current negotiations, we are also more than happy to provide you with assistance or some selection of offers, depending on what you're looking for. I would say that if you're looking for some big volumes, definitely that's something that we can personally attend to, try to provide you with those best offers, even that potentially have not been listed on the platform yet. It's all dynamic. We try to make sure that all the good offers are actual and visible on the platform. However, considering how fast everything moves in the industry, we might have even some additional offers or availability beyond what you can find here on the marketplace. And yeah, all of that to make sure that the online PV trading becomes as smooth of an experience as possible. I mentioned at the beginning that we launched the platform like almost 2 years ago, but I would like to emphasize that we keep on expanding, we keep on improving it, coming up with new features, just because we are aware of certain aspects that might not be fully optimal. But hearing out the feedback both from the buyers and the sellers, we go above and beyond to make sure that we fix it and that we improve the whole process, make it even more hassle-free for both sides. And maybe one last thing that I would like to mention, unless there are any questions. If so, I will be happy also to answer them after that part. So if you have any, please put them on the chat. The sell sites, what's in it for the merchants, for the sellers. I would say that joining sun.store grants the sellers access to buyers, as mentioned, 28,000 registrations so far from all over Europe, various markets that a particular seller might not have reached with their on the ground sales teams yet. So that gives an additional sales channel expansion option that might be worth considering. And either the seller chooses to liquidate their excess stock, or they might also choose to list their full portfolio, that we definitely encourage. We want to make sure that sun.store is a place that they will find demand on their offers. So working with their prices, with their availability, but also being responsive, providing the security to the buyers, the secure payments with Stripe, and simply making sure that the experience of the buyers is up to standard. I'm sure that the sellers are going to be successful. We have multiple stories of such successes on a monthly basis. Our top sellers make lots of transactions. I believe that they can confirm that sun.store has become a valid, solid sales channel of their own. And also, maybe last thing to mention, on the operational end, we also intend for the sellers, for the whole platform to be smooth of an experience, to manage their accounts in a efficient manner. This is also what we try to focus on right now, to rework the processes, to provide some additional features, just to make sure that they don't need to put so much effort into handling the whole platform. Okay, I can see that there is one question regarding the kinds of sellers on the platform: manufacturer, distributors, others. How many of them again? So right now we have around 400 active sellers on the platform, offering thousands of offers. And these are mostly distributors. However, we also have some offers coming from manufacturers who decide to publish them directly on the platform. However, also some of the offers also belong, let's say, directly to sun.store. So we also have certain cooperations beyond the platform with aforementioned manufacturers, for example, that we can provide on their behalf on the platform. And in such cases, we also make sure that all the experience is top notch. So you would find different kind of distributors and manufacturers here. Okay, I can see another question regarding scenario where a buyer is not able to find a product that they need on the platform. I would say that you should then definitely reach out to us if it's a small quantity, if it's something that we would like to purchase in pieces, and you don't have a direct contact to a key account manager that's able to help you out personally. You can always reach out to us at contact at sun.store or the given phone number. However, I would say that a big publicity of our users already have some direct contact to key account managers being responsible for particular markets. And in such cases, I would also encourage you to reach out directly to those key account managers, business development managers of ours, provide you with your inquiry, ask for the specific product for the volume you're thinking of, and we are able also to help. Apart from that, if you have some really, let's say, big needs, considering some projects, some purchase beyond, let's say, 50,000 euro, we have an option of providing a request for proposal. So here, by clicking on your accounts, buy and the request for proposal, you are able to start an RFP on a project and define whether you would like, what you're looking for, whether it's a whether these are, panels, inverters, batteries, what volumes you're looking for, in what time horizon, and whether these are particular brands or some power ranges. You can all define it here and publish it for the sellers, and this is when they will receive the notification that you're looking for such a big inquiry, and that they can potentially reply to and provide you with their best offers. So yeah, there are a few ways. I would say that first of all, you can try and reach out to us. The second, if it's a big volume potential project, you can always publish it here using the RFP module and reach our manufacturers in a different way, like beyond the offers that you can find on the platform. Okay, so if there are no further questions, but of course I encourage you to publish them, still I would be happy to answer them. If you have not registered on the platform yet, I would highly recommend you to do so and try it out yourself. Look for different quantities, different brands. Also, maybe an important aspect that I wanted to mention here is currently the prices you can see. These are like prices that start from, depending on the order volume. When you open the offer, you can see that there are different ranges, right? So the minimum order quantity is 310 pieces, and this is when such price 6.7 cents is being offered. Only above like 5 containers or so, you would be able to 4 containers, you would be able to achieve the aforementioned price. However, in order to also make it more efficient, we are right now trying to rework the way that we show the prices, so that you will be able to predefine the quantity, the volume that you're looking for, and the listing page will also see the prices reflecting that volume that you have in mind. All right, if there are no further questions, and I don't think there are, once again, I highly recommend you to use the platform, give it a go, reach out to us. We are always happy to help, either directly or put you through to our sellers that might have the offers you're looking for at their hands. So if there is any help needed, yeah, don't hesitate to reach out to us. I hope that you will find it useful, that you will find the best offers on the platform. Also, we are always happy for feedback. So when you feel that certain products are not of the best, price availability, we are always happy to as mentioned, go above and beyond and try to source something better. So thank you all. I think that will be it for now. And yeah, I hope to see you around. Have a nice day.